I was down, but now I'm up. Yeah. This all God, this ain't no love. Yeah. I used to be stuck in that mud. Yeah. Yeah. I was down, but now I'm up. I was down, but now I'm
down. Now I'm up like a seesaw. When I'm on a beat like an old man's lawn, better keep off. From the ground to the treetops, got clouds on my feet like Jack in the Beanstalk. Jumped off quick, went straight in a free fall. Cowboy hat and a mic singing yeehaw.
I was down, but now I'm up. Yeah. This all God, this ain't no love. Yeah. I used to be stuck in that mud. Yeah. Yeah. I was down, but now I'm up. I was down, but now I'm
down. Now I'm up like a seesaw. When I'm on a beat like an old man's lawn, better keep off. From the ground to the treetops, got clouds on my feet like Jack in the Beanstalk. Jumped off quick, went straight in a free fall. Cowboy hat and a mic singing yeehaw.
Hey, you guys. Okay, can you hear me? We're good? Thumbs up. Okay. So Tuesday night, you guys, we have an amazing guest that we're gonna have share tonight, but also a very important topic that we want to go ahead and dig into even more. So again, I want to go ahead, we're at the top of the call here, but take a moment and go ahead and reach out, make sure that we have more people on the call. Make sure you got your We Do teams jumping on as well. As I pull up, I've got my slides here, you guys. We've got some visuals, okay? Because we're going to go into a little bit of teacher mode tonight too, you guys. And so I want to make sure you've got your notebooks ready, because we're not just going to tell stories. We're going to share some stories, but we're going to share some nuggets too with you guys. So, first off, translation is available, you guys. Make sure that you go ahead and hit the right buttons on the screen here so you can make sure that you completely understand everything, because even though we've got slides, really want to make sure that we're fully understanding everything we've got going on. And you guys, the power of joining these calls live is the fact that we try to keep as much time as possible too at the end for some Q&A. Okay, so you can ask the questions. Please don't just put them in the chat with everybody. It's going to get lost. Okay, so want to make sure that you use that Q&A section. We've got people that are keeping an eye on that, so we can make sure that we're answering your questions or verbally answering your questions if it's not in the chat as well. So again, use that. You guys drop in the chat where you guys are from, tuning into. I want to make sure that that part is working as well. So I'm going to move some things around here. Okay, there you go. There we go. We got Texas, Wisconsin, New York, Ecuador. Always love it. We can go ahead and get some other countries that are on too. So again, you guys, this is the vision. This is what I love. This is why we ask for you guys to drop these in here too. It's not to take a roll call, right? It's to go ahead and see that bigger vision of just who's all hopping on and where we're reaching. And the cool thing, you guys, is that we get to help support each other no matter where we're at. So, okay, good. You guys, just out of a show of hands too, and in the chat, quick question. I'm gonna pull this up because I gotta see. I might be the only person that's always having issues seeing the chat all the time too. Because I'm like, I want to talk to you guys, but I want to see the chat. You guys, how many of you can relate and ever felt like life just like hits you and throws you off course? Like literally, like you're feeling good, all of a sudden just like life hits you. And you feel like you're just not sure what to do, or you fell off track, whether that's results with business, results with your products, kids, family, all the things, and you just feel like you've got really good reasons why you've fallen off from whatever you've got going on. Okay, and I'm raising my hand over here too, you guys. Life happens to all of us. Okay, and I just want everyone to know, but we're not gonna be okay with that. I want to make sure we're clear with that. We're not gonna be okay with that, but at the same time, it's just like want you guys to understand that sometimes, and this whole question too, like what, and I had this conversation with our guests too, is this like what if our setback was really a setup to the success that we can have? Okay, and so when I was talking with the guest that we have for today too, and I actually met him for the first time in Nashville at an event And I found out he flew there from California. It was just like, man, like, how exciting is that? To learn more about We Do Transformations, and completely fired up. But he has really reignited that like fire in his business and his whole purpose of what he's doing. And I didn't even realize that when I first met him, where he was at that moment. But you could just see that he was fired up. And so, and seeing all the things he had going on social media world, right, and staying connected that way, you guys, it was just like I had to reach out to him and have some conversation, and that's why he's on the call tonight with us too. So that's us with our flex back when, and that where I feel like our results are way different now. So we need an updated one there too, you guys. But help me welcome onto the screen here, Armand Lewis. Okay, all the way from California.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna let you share your story, a little background, a little pre the time that we met. And you guys, like, actually, hold on. Take note of this, you guys. Before we met up, okay, is it okay if I share this part?
Yeah, you
This is
should.
okay.
Yeah.
Before we met up, from January until October, there, you guys, 9 months, this guy did 577 points in his business.
Wow.
Okay. Okay, so now that we got that out there, okay, like I said, all I knew is I met this guy whose eyes were like lit up with everything we were talking about with We Do, and this is what he had created from that point to the rest of the year. So like what the 3-4 months later, you guys, 5,933 volume points. You guys, again, taking a look at how many people do you maybe have in your organization, if you've been around for a while, that maybe have drifted off. And again, you know, a couple hundred volume points here and there in their business, and to go ahead and be in front of people talking about this movement that we have going on, this platform, and seeing that bigger vision flying to go learn about it, but then seeing the impact that it could have and the results that came from that. Again, you take a look at that, you guys, what, five of those people in our teams, or even if you're brand new, what you can create in a couple of months in your business, that's, you know, beyond supervisor, right, in a few months. But what that can create, I mean, you've got five people that are doing that. That's a whole like line of active world team, right? And there's so many people, and this is what I get fired up on. This is why I wanted him to share his story, which I will let him talk. But it was just like, man, you know how many people I know, I've been in business now for going 13 years. Okay. How many people I know that have kind of fallen off the beaten path for one reason or another. And the opportunity and the things that we were doing and We Do Transformations, you guys, like the impact we're making, the impact financially and physically, it's just like, man, imagine if someone heard the story or heard that turnaround and heard the passion that you now have and what's been achieved now in your business. So I'll let you go ahead and share your background story.
Yeah. Yes. So, like you said earlier, setback for the setup. I'm a firm believer in everything happens for a reason, right? But yeah, I owned a nutrition club. I was one of the ones. We have a couple around here, but I was one of the ones that owned a nutrition club. My little bit background about me. I was in sports my entire life, track and field, and football as well. I played a little bit of professional football. So that tells you I like to be outside. I'm very active and things like that. And nutrition club wasn't quite fit for me. I had it for 3 years. We did well in it, but I like to be, like I said, I like to be around. I like to move around. I like to go to the people and where they're at. I'm 1,000% glad that I did the nutrition club because I do have distributors that come on that want to do the club, right? Or coaches that want to do the club scene. And now I can offer that value for them. But yeah, so once the club, we sold the club, actually went to a downline because, you know, she loved the club model and I was there to provide that for her. So after the club, I was kind of struggling to find, you know, my niche in the business. Like, okay, I know we have all these different things that we can do with the business with the We Do Transformations. I found out about that in October. But from there, I sold the club in, say, February. And from there, I was, like I said, I was finding my niche. And then We Do Transformations came about, 2023. We Do Transformation. And I heard about it from a sideline actually. And I hopped on one of the calls and I'm like, this is it. This is going to take me to president's team. This is going to take me to that next level. This is going to take my team to the next level. And I'm like, yeah. So I got re-fired up. And then from that point on, I'm like, hold on, I need to requalify. So I used the We Do Transformations platform to requalify. So from that October to February, like Tracy said, I hit almost 6,000 points in that. And that's all from just getting challengers. One month I'll have 20 challengers. The next month I'll have five. The next month I'll have 10. But I never got discouraged when I didn't have that, when I didn't have those numbers that you guys mainly hear all the time. You guys hear those big numbers like, oh, I had, 50 challengers and I converted 30 of them and stuff like you hear that stuff all the time. So you kind of like, oh, I don't know if I can do all that. So I don't even want to touch it. Like, no, that's those are, we call those outliers. So those people that's the top of the business, like I said, top 1%. That's always the goal to get there, but not everybody's there. Like I started out brand new, got my challengers. Yeah, and that's pretty much the background on how I got into We Do Transformations, and I've been doing it ever since.
I was gonna say, I'm like, wait, we gotta be super transparent. You were going to lose your downline if you didn't do something, and that was the fire to get you going, but you brought it
Yeah.
up, so we're all good.
Yes.
Um, and so what I wanted to have you make sure you share too is the fact that I know you part of the reason too with deciding that the club wasn't the right fit too. You had your daughter and some things, and
Hmm.
the cool thing is like now you have an opportunity that you're doing things around your daughter and incorporating her with what you've got. So share what you have going on with your workouts.
So yeah, so let's put this in perspective. Like I'm not just I'm a very busy person, right? I'm a father of three. That's my daughter, I have older sons. I'm a father of three. I am an undergraduate student getting my master's. I also work full time. I'm a head track and field coach, and that's my daughter right there. She's on my track team, and that's my track team that you see me talking to the kids. I even talk nutrition to them. So yes, and then yes, so I'm those things. And if you're a parent, you know how busy it can be. You know how busy it can be just by I have three, even having one is a handful, right? But what I did with my We Do Transformation business is I incorporated it into my lifestyle, right? I didn't change up my lifestyle, something that I wouldn't be able to sustain. So what I started to do was Sundays were free for me. So I started having workouts on Sundays. It started out just me and the coaches because I wanted to give my coaches a place to get content and basically grow their business. And that's how it started, right? But then people start seeing it on social media because I always post, I was working out. So people start seeing it on social media and wanted to be a part of it. So I opened it up to everybody. Free workouts, come on Sundays, get your workout in, hour. And then we sneak those talks in there like, oh, well, I have a coach that's done fantastic on the product. She was a PM before and she converted to coach. And she lost over like 80 pounds, 90 pounds on the product. So I sneak that in there sometimes too. I'm like, oh, her name is Whitley. I call her Whit. I'm like, hey, Whit, how much weight did you lose? And she gets to talking, and then our guests hear it too, and they get excited. And then we mention the challenge, like, oh yeah, we got a challenge coming up. You should get in. You should get involved pretty much with this challenge. And then from there, that's how we incorporate the We Do Transformations inside our Sunday. We call them Flex Sundays. So that's how we incorporate We Do Transformation in our Flex Sundays.
Got it. So definitely obviously you're intentional with sharing and making sure you're having some stories to share. So I want to make sure everyone makes note of that too. So even if it's a casual approach, you're definitely not casual about making sure you're talking about those things, especially leveraging your time with all the things you've got going on. So it's actually going to lead me right into, oops, this next slide here, you guys, consistency. So you have, and especially those that are doing this part-time or full and full-time, you guys, have to be super intentional with what we've got going on. And so taking a look at whatever life stuff is going on, whatever laundry or a whole list of things that you're a part of what you're doing, you guys, you know, and I'll share too, like taking a look at, you know, my schedule of all the things too. It's like we're working on things for the company. I've got our nutrition club. We have our own organizational stuff going on, part of 2 mastermind groups. Justin and I are spending hours putting these Tuesday calls together for everybody. And I'm a mom, right? And so it's just like you have to be intentional with your time. And so we get the pleasure of talking about this really sexy topic, which is consistency, you guys. But where else do we hear and get the nuggets of like, how can we be consistent? You guys are hopping on these calls on Tuesdays, and it's all these great ideas and content and all the things. But again, it boils down to how many of those notes are probably still in your notebook, or screenshots that are on your phone because you haven't implemented those things yet because you just haven't had the time yet, or haven't developed the consistency to make those things happen. And so we're really going to dig in on some of that for you guys too. But I think this is really important for all of us to remember too, is the fact that like life is going to life, right? Okay. And so it's literally a matter of that mindset of just knowing that you're going to go ahead and do the things anyway. Right. And so just even talking with Armad beforehand too, it's just, you know, the things that I'm seeing, he's constantly sharing all the things on social media because that's the only part I see and know. But he's doing it consistently no matter what. Mm-hmm. Right. And like you said, some of the higher months, if he's had 20 challengers and some of them that are a little bit lower, right? It's just like, but first of all, you guys, it's a game of like, you know, obviously, you know, going ahead and pushing yourself beyond and stretching to get more challengers, because there's a reason I'm going to explain that later, right? So we have more opportunity to get more coaches, right? But at the same time, being consistent, even if you have 8-10 challengers every single month or 5 challengers, the fact that if you're doing that consistently, you're going to have those conversions that are happening if you're being intentional. Okay. Mm-hmm. And like you just, when we talked to you, you just had someone else that joined as well. And it's probably, go ahead, share what you got going on with that, and I'll share what my thought is with that.
Okay. So yeah, you had said something before about having all these notes in your notebook and not using them. You know, that was me a while ago. Like I had a bunch of notes like this is great, but not acting on it. We call it analysis paralysis. Like you're trying to figure out everything possible about this program before you take that leap. And I can tell you right now, 10 times out of 10, it do not work like that. You have to jump in and you will learn as you go type of way, right? I know you guys hear it before, but it's definitely true. But yeah, for my, I like to throw events as well. It might not always be, you know, the shape ups that we see, but I like to throw events for my community. I'm very big on community. So recently we had a step class, a hip hop step class, right? And it was, I believe we had like, I'm gonna say like 30 people in there. And I reached out to a step coach in another city, and I'm like, yo, I want this in my city. How can we make this happen? And I used that platform basically to show my platform, right? So she came, she brought people with her, and I brought people. And we had this big class, and she loved it. She was an entrepreneur. You know, the step coach was an entrepreneur. She was into many different things, and me immediately thinking like, hey, what if you got all your steppers, because she has a following. What if you got your following not only to join your step class, but also get into the 21-day challenge as they're doing a step class, losing weight, and now they're more motivated to come to your step class, and now you're earning money on the side on extra income. And she thought it was an amazing idea, and she actually signed up as a coach. So now that's
of course she did. Why would you want to leave money on the table, right? Right. Okay. But so I'm gonna go ahead and back that up though, that if you didn't reach out, right, and at the same time, if you weren't actively doing the things, if you weren't doing your workouts and promoting that and building a community where you had that confidence to again go ahead and reach out. So you guys, consistency and follow through builds confidence. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't have to drop a 1 in the chat unless you want to be super transparent with the rest of us as we open everything up to you guys. But how many of you guys struggle with confidence? Sometimes, right? We can get caught in our head and all the things. And a lot of the times we lack confidence because we don't follow through with the things that we say we're going to do. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so that's why even, you know, and we're going to talk about, you know, goal setting for the number of challengers and such here in a little bit. But it's like, okay, if you say you're going to get 10 challengers in the month of May, you guys, you better just work your butt off to make sure you get that to happen so that you can commit to what you said you're going to do, knowing that that's not always going to happen. But at the same time, it's just like, if you don't play full out and you don't follow through, that's when you start being a little bit more timid. So by you being consistent with what you're sharing and what you're doing, and seeing that too, you just have more of that that confidence, and you bring that to the table when you're having the conversation with the person you're talking to, right?
No,
So
definitely got to be consistent in what you're doing, or how do you expect anybody to follow you if you're not even consistent yourself? If you want to be that leader, you have to become that, right? And also with, like you're saying, with the confidence thing, I do have, you know, some distributors that come on, or coaches that come on, and they talk about, what do I say, or how do I, you know, how do I have those conversations? Everything's in the app. Like, first of all, we that's my first go-to. Everything is in that app. We go to the WeDo app. I use all the stories in there. I send them to, I actually use those and send them to potential coaches, right? Um, for another tool that I use is this. If you're familiar with ChatGPT, put a 2 in the chat. I want to see if I can give y'all a gem with this real quick. ChatGPT, put a 2. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm about to give y'all a amazing gem right now that helps with that confidence, because sometimes I do run into that. Like, this person has an entire um gym. Why do they need, you know, WeDo transformations? Like, what can I say to them to actually get them to need WeDo transformations? Um, so what I do is, there's a way you can take that person's whole entire profile on their Instagram. You could drop it in Chat GBT, and my Chat GBT knows what I do. It knows I'm a WeDo transformation coach. It knows all about the all about the competition. Top 10 winners wins $1,000. So it knows all of that already about me, right? And it remembers that. So when I drop this that person profile, and I say, analyze this person profile, and how can I add value to that how can WeDo transformations add value to this profile? It'll blow out everything that I can say to this person to actually get them engaged with me about WeDo transformations, about becoming a WeDo transformation coach. And then again, add an icing on the cake, when we start our conversation, I can have I can take that conversation that we're having on Instagram, put it in ChatGPT, and it's gonna tell me exactly what to say next. Like, oh, it's gonna say something like, this person is really enjoying this conversation, or is really engaged with this conversation. You should say this to them, or whatever. Of course, you put it in your own words, put it in there, and now you having a conversation. You ain't even got to think no more, really.
you didn't even share that with me ahead of time. What do you guys? How awesome is that? Okay, I just wrote that down too. We didn't even get to that part of the social media stuff.
No.
But yeah, that's awesome. And so basically, if you don't have the confidence, you use ChatGPT to go ahead and
Gives you confidence.
take a look.
Yeah.
Okay, so question then for you too, you guys, and something I think it's important to everyone knows is that we're not always motivated to do all the things, you guys, and that's where some people can get misled. We're motivated maybe like you know, again, just straight out of an event, right? Or we're on a call. We just had our mastermind a couple of weeks ago, right? And just like, where's your motivation now? And that's why we can't rely on motivation. Okay, maybe you're still fired up, which is awesome from that event, but you have to know what your long-term game is that you're playing to stay focused and stay motivated, to have that inner motivation come through. Okay, and so sometimes people can just wait around and let life happen because they're just floating around because they're just waiting for someone to motivate them versus taking ownership of your business. And so and I know you, with your athlete background, I'm sure that, you know, there's some things with that too. But again, for my advice for you guys as we talk about consistency moving forward here tonight is, you have to know what long-term game you're playing. But what I love about the 21 days, just like our challengers, this is what I talk to my challengers too, is it's like, you know, I don't talk about like the long term right away. I'm just like, give me 21 days, right? But it is about the long term for them. Just like our business, it's about long term, but at the same time, where I'm breaking it down, I'm doing 21-day cycles with our platform, right? To keep that excitement, that motivation, because it's still short term. And so that helps me stay consistent personally as well. So any other nuggets you have before we move on?
Yes, about you, how you saying waiting for waiting to be motivated, waiting for for somebody to come save you. It's great. I listen to podcasts and I do personal development basically every morning. Before when I'm riding to work, I commute to work. And that's what I'm listening to instead of music. I don't even know what's on the radio anymore, but I was listening to something and it said something similar to that. It's stop. The reason I'm not speaking to you, if it hits a nerve, then hey, it may be for you. But it says the reason why your business is failing because you're waiting on everybody else to do your business for you. He said
Mm,
you can't wait. He said what attracts people to your business is you actually doing the work, right? Doing the work, doing the business. He said he gave an analogy of imagine, you see somebody pushing a car. You got the door open. You see him grabbing the wheel. He ran out of gas and he's pushing the car. How many of us is most likely to get out and help that person push, right? Help that person push, to the gas station, help that person get to where he needs to go because you see him doing the work. He's putting in the work. He needs help, right? That's the same thing with your business. So imagine a person on the car, sitting car with their thumb up. I pass people like that. I pass people up like that all the time. You got your thumb up, you're a serial killer. I'm gone. I'm not stopping. So you have to do the work. That's what attracts people, doing the work. And that's what's going to attract your next customer. That's what's going to attract your next coach, just doing the work.
that's good. And you guys, when you was talking about ownership too, you guys, part of that ownership is, and the consistency is keeping things in the forefront of your brain. And so how many of you guys are in the coaches chat? How many of you guys are going in there for that communication, right? And sometimes you can get relaxed, I'll use that word, and just like, oh, I'll wait until the code word is posted and they'll hop in that group, right? Or in that chat, right? And so taking ownership of that. I mean, again, we've got new things that are constantly launching because we do is constantly evolving for all of us, right? So we can stay cutting edge. And so, that's part of that ownership too, is knowing what's going on and plugging into these calls. And so, you guys, uh, getting around the community and the system that we have is so important because, like the quote there on the bottom there is the fact that you're not always going to have the energy, but when you're plugged into a system, that's what feeds you. And I know when I was talking to Armand too, he's got organizational calls and things he can plug into, but they're all like club based, right? And so how awesome is it that we get this platform that we get to help be transparent, share some nuggets, share some struggles that we've been able to work through or whatever to be able to learn together. And again, just want to give you that background. So, okay, we got to move on. So this is what I have for you guys. The company just launched, Flex 45, and Jorge talked about this at the very end of that mastermind. And he was like, get in contact with your distributors, get them plugged back in, get them doing the Flex 45. And obviously I was at Honors when it was launched too, and it's just like this big old push. And I know that officially launched today for the company, company wide, but a group of us already kicked this off, pretty much since it was launched. And let me tell you, the consistency and the things that people are doing, because it's not much. It's not much. Like it kind of goes back to like thinking, like Armand was saying too. It's like, I don't have 50 challengers, so you feel like you're defeated, right? Because you're like, I'm not doing what everyone else is doing. You guys, these 7 things, well, 6 things really, right? So these 6 things, as far as building your business, are going to make the world of difference. Now I know why Jorge was like, get your people, reach out, have the conversations. I know why Eric was talking about this, you guys. And so there's 7 things, don't get me wrong, 7 tasks that we do to build our business, you guys, but these are the things that we do in the company or in our platform too, to be able to work and grow our business consistently. I don't know about you guys, but who likes a good old checklist? Like, it sounds crazy, but some of us, especially if you're new to being your own boss, you guys, no one teaches you how to be consistent, but they teach you how to punch a card, to punch in and punch out at a job, right? And so mentally in this whole transition, if you're just getting started, maybe you might find, like, again, this checklist, it's like, okay, I just need to be told what to do, which, we don't want to be that very long, but at the same time, like sometimes we need that, right? Or if you've got new coaches too, and just like, I don't get why they're not doing X, Y, Z. I mean, they just haven't been taught what they need to do on a daily basis. Okay. There's a difference between telling and teaching too, right? And so these things, and if you're doing these things, no matter how, if you're doing the very minimum of doing these 7 things, you guys, again, I feel like 6, but the 7 things to official or to make it official, you're going to move forward. Even on your crazy, chaotic day of all the things, okay, where maybe you're a hot mess sometimes at the end of the day, you're just like ready to break. You're doing these things, you can sleep so much better at night. And this is what I'm super excited about for you guys to go ahead and really plug in. And so if you don't know, again, you can go on I think we all got emails today on this too, but you guys, the 7 things. So first off, and I'm not going to teach on all these things, but I just want you to know, like step number 1, 2, and 3, you guys, is the fact that don't use the products and do your workout and do your personal development. Don't do those things quietly. Like, be public about those things. This is what I mean, you guys. Sometimes if people struggle, like, what should I share on social media? What do I put in my stories, right? These things, like, it's built in. Like, don't just use your products. Like, what are you making? Like, today it was Waffle Tuesday at our club. Like, I took a picture of that. I put that in my stories, right? I'm showing people how we can have fun with using some of the products. I don't have like all my products displayed out and all the things, but I'm showing what I'm eating, right? And then at the same time, you get your workout in. Okay. People need to know that you're doing the grind, like what you were just talking about. That people see that you're doing the work, and that's going to build that trust with them and yourself, right? And then even your personal development, you guys. Okay, and when you see, if anyone sees some of the things I post, for me, that's my accountability. I'll share that in a post what I took away. It just helps me process. So I take everything in, but then it's just like but if I'm actually speaking it out loud or putting it on my social media of like what I'm learning, but I'm using it on my own terms, that's helping me process that. And at the same time, that's attractive for people to be like, some people might think I have my stuff together, right? But at the same time, it's like, I'm just sharing what I'm learning so I can process it more. And if I needed it, someone else is going to need it too. Does that make sense, you guys? Okay. So just don't do those things quietly.
Mhm.
And so leveraging and using Flex 45, you guys, to create your business schedule. So out of curiosity, drop a 1 in the chat if you guys have a business schedule on your calendar or a calendar of some sort. I'm checking, guys. We got going on here. And this is a serious question, because you might be like if you pull up your calendar right now, what you got going on tomorrow? Or is it blank? Right? And so, because again, like, hope we can't depend on. Okay. Like, you have to, things just don't happen. We make the time. You have to make the time. You can't, if I find the time, we're never going to find the time, you guys. We all have the same amount of time in the day, but we're never going to. So block those times off. And I know it sounds like I didn't go into business to have a schedule, but I'm telling you right now, if you're not consistent, this is going to be a game changer for you. Time block. Okay. So in Flex 45, it's 20 minutes of your workout, 20 minutes of your personal development, right? And so, going ahead, and you can pair the 2 up together if you want to multitask, and if you can do that, right? But and even, you guys, even 20 minutes. So the conversation component, you guys, it's amazing what you can do in 20 minutes. I guarantee. Okay. Some people do power hours or whatever you need to do, but if you actually took 20 minutes, and I would love for anyone to like tell me how this goes for them. But I know that in 20 minutes, if I said to have 5 conversations and to go ahead and start a conversation about the business opportunity, doing your first few the next 4, 5, and 6 in that time of blocking that off, you guys, it's amazing what you can achieve. And when you're intentional with that, and I would tell you too, like, when you block it on your calendar, if this is what you need to do, because I'm one that I'll get a message, I'll get pop up on Telegram, and then I'll get this, or I'll have that, or I'll have mom, in different directions getting screamed at me. Just like 20 minutes, set the timer. And when it goes off, everyone in your household knows that they can go ahead and talk to you again. Okay. If you got kids, I swear that's like amazing. Okay. And so sometimes too, it's just like, because I know mom guilt can like set in if I'm doing something with my business and they're wanting to do something. I'm like, just 1 minute, just 1 minute, just 1 minute. Right. And maybe it's just me. Please help me out and just let me know in the chat that it's not just me. But again, it's just like 1 more minute. You guys, taking a look at that, the fact that if you can go ahead and just let people know, like, when that goes off, that timer goes off, then it's just like, then they're yours. or you're them, you're theirs. Okay. But you guys, this is the other thing, is that when you say you're going to do something 20 minutes, you're taking time away from your family, or you're taking time away from something else. Make sure you're being intentional with that 20 minutes. Okay. Because 20 minutes, you guys, of action is worth more than a whole day of random hustle. I don't know if you can feel that or not, but like there's days I'm floating around if I'm not being intentional. So, okay. So what we're doing, well, I put that in there. So your daily, so it's the daily prospecting for the new challengers, new coaches, right? But this is what I want to have some conversation on too, is the fact that, you know, with the way that we're both getting challengers and coaches and being intentional, it literally is coming from those conversations, because that can be the first thing people blow off, is the conversations, having the conversation. They're like, I got my workout in, I got my PD. Okay. That's only a couple components. Conversations are so important. And so many people can get conversations mixed up with posting. Okay. Obviously you want to post in your stories and post some content because you're building that relationship. You're putting things out there. Again, the people I'm reaching out to and having conversation about we do that I don't know. It's because I'm attracted to what they're doing and what they're putting out on social media. Right. But if you didn't do that, I wouldn't know what you got going on. Right. And so you need to do that. But that's like icing on the cake in my eyes. It's the one-on-one conversations and being intentional. Again, step 4 through 6 on that flex task. Okay. But the conversations lead to an invitation, to join the challenge, lead to an invitation to become a coach. Okay. So having the conversations with your challenger to lead them into converting. Right. And so, again, those 6 things that are on that Flex 45, I understand completely now why that was a big push and why it's still a big push. Obviously, people can continue to join that. But you guys, and you're signed up, you're ready to do the Flex 45 too, Armin?
Yes, no, I'm definitely signed up. A lot of those things I'm already, doing, right? The thing I can do better is have those conversations, have more conversations. So yeah, call yourself out. I know I'm not having enough conversations, but I post some of those lead to conversations as well. Because my whole thing is someone has to know, like, and trust you before they can actually do business with you, right? If they don't know you, they're not gonna do business for you. But people are watching, so the more you post, that's how they get to know, like, and trust you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And again, the one-on-one conversations, you guys, I know that sometimes people will laugh because they're like, she only has X many people on Instagram, right? Or whatever it is. It's just like, it don't matter. I'm having more conversations than you, apparently, right? So you have to have the conversations and make sure that you're doing what you need to do. But that goes back to having that checklist, because otherwise one day leads to another day. And you guys, right now the challenge is open for May, right? Registration's open for May. Like, do you like that flyer that you see in the lower right there? Super like sleek, sexy, all the things. Do you know that's there? Are you already promoting the May challenge? Are you already signed up for the May challenge? Are you already in there getting the material? This is what I love about the 21-day transformation challenge, you guys. Registration ended on Friday last week, right? The next day is the next challenge. When I used to do challenges way back when it was like, there would be like weeks in between before, I mean, it was like 12-week challenges that we were doing and all the things, which is crazy now, but there was so much time in between that it would literally, I couldn't stay consistent with that method, because I would be like, just wait 6 more weeks and then you can join this challenge that you are interested in, right? No, like the turnaround's so quick, you guys, that this is also what I like about the 21-day transformation challenge, is the fact that I can stay consistent with my marketing, which then keeps me consistent with my marketing versus like having one big old push, which obviously, again, talking about that consistency. But what we're posting on your social media, you guys, on this committed list, right? How many challengers do you want? And if you've got a goal, like share your goal, like letting people know you're taking on 10 new challengers for the month of May, or add more numbers. You're taking on 20 new challengers. I got my list out there, right? And so I've got my goal. Whatever your goal is, you guys, if you're not speaking it, people don't know. Or maybe you're like, you can team up. If you're working out of a hub with other people, or a fit camp, or a fit club with other people, it's like maybe you have a list of all of those who are participating with a couple of coaches, so that you're showing the number of people. Because this is the thing, is that when you have new challengers, I'm constantly in my stories, I'm updating my new list, because I want more people to know that people are joining us. And then and again, it's just that attraction too. And so maybe if you're maybe you're teaming up with other coaches that you're sharing, how you have a goal together too. Okay. because this is what it is, you guys. The secret sauce is that no matter if you've got, and again, we're speaking to the masses, right? We're just literally, and that's why I had Armad hop on too, is because he's no different than any one of you guys, right? Like he's got vision of Prez team with this platform, but he's just doing everything consistently. And the fact that the people that you have in your challenge, you're keeping them around the fire. And whether you have 5 challengers, 10 challengers, 20 challengers, whatever it is, but again, you're always keeping them around the fire so that you can talk about the opportunity. Okay. And that it could take a couple of challenges before they get started, and convert over to becoming a coach when they have people that are asking them, or they're seeing enough proof and evidence. Again, this is why we post the things, share the things, share the events. You guys, a lot of you guys are master promoters. Like every Tuesday call, I'm seeing in your stories that you're showing that we're training and we're working together as a group. That's super attractive. People want to know they're going to be supported, right? But you're also just painting that picture and you're staying consistent with what you get to do, that people are watching it. And eventually, again, people at some point, they're going to convert over to being a coach if we're having those conversations. Or the same thing as if you're not staying consistent, you guys, then if you find that you're having people fall off from joining from challenge to challenge, and they're not just falling off because they convert over to being a coach, now they're not on your list, right? But taking a look, if you have an influx of people from month to month, that's your sign. Okay. And just owning that, right? Whereas it's like, maybe I'm not consistent with following up with my challengers. Maybe I'm not consistent with using the verbiage that WeDo has to help us with follow-up, because literally it's copy paste, you guys, right? So that, again, getting into the app, how often are you getting into the app? Are you using the follow-ups, right? And so if you find that inconsistency, or if you're not having the conversion happening for coaches, are you having the conversations, right? And so again, wanting to make sure that you understand, like, consistency is going to continue, because that's where your new coaches are coming from. That's how we qualify Premier League, again, through just WeDo transformations, you guys, right? Make that your goal this year. Could you imagine, again, imagine at the end of this year, when we have WeDo transformations, we're taking a group shot of all of those people who are qualifying Premier League through WeDo transformations, getting more coaches, right? So set your goal. Like, this is the short term and long-term game that we get to play with ourselves, is, what is that goal that you have that you can go run after? So some mindset stuff too, you guys, is just making sure that you, when it comes to staying consistent, that you're not being a victim, and that you're being the victor of your own calendar too. Okay. Like, how many times do we hear, I ran out of time, right? That's not owning that, right? So literally prioritize your time. Like, how can I, like what you did with your daughter, how can I work this business and be a present father too? Where it's just like doing the workouts, bringing her along, doing all the things, and you're a coach, right? So how can I talk to more people? Well, hello, like, all those parents are in front of you, right? And so it's just like, you're, being intentional. Or if you're on this call too, and you're like, I would have more challengers, or I'd have more people joining, and I'd be building a team if I was doing this full-time instead of part-time, or whatever that is. It's like, no, like, how many people do you have at your job, right? I was just talking to a nurse, or last week it was, and she was talking about all these follows that she was doing, but which is great. But at the same time, are you talking to people around you at the hospital? Like, those are people that you can have one-on-one conversations with. So, like, how can I do the things? And so don't overlook the things you do have complete control over, right? And again, just, reminders that this is how important, like, literally your calendar. I mean, Octavio, he's on calls all the time too, right? If he didn't have a calendar, like, he would know what was going on. Then he would drop the ball on this, and he would drop the ball on that, he would drop the ball on that. And what is he's gonna beat himself up, and before you know it, his confidence is down, right? And if this is like resonating with you, take a look at your calendar, right? And I say calendaring too, you guys. We do transformations. We want more coaches. We want more challengers, you guys. But we also want you to be having a life with your family, right? And so again, like, making sure, like, my advice to you too is have your time on your calendar for, like, block that time off, so you're not doing something when you should be doing something with your family at that point, right? And so, and it always landed weird with me at first. Like, I shouldn't have to put, date night on my calendar or family time on my calendar. But if you don't do it, what's going to happen is not going to happen, just like your business, right? And so again, just be super, what's the word I'm looking for?
Intentional.
Intentional. Yeah, that's my word. I forgot about my word, but yes. Okay. And real quickly, you guys too, I know obviously the company has, looks like they have some tracking tools too, but I know there's a lot of trackers that are floating out there, but I would say again, I'm a paper girl too. I know how some people feel about that, but there's something the gratification of checking something off. But you guys, even if you don't do the 7 things each day, which that's the intention, that's what you want to do, or you're starting over. So again, play and follow the rules with this. But even the fact of like, if you don't do something on the sheet, I still track every day, so that you can go ahead and you can look back and just be like, man, if you're crossing more things off than you had before, like you're building that consistency muscle. You have growth that's happening, right? I'm a black and white girl, so I'm literally like, I did it or I didn't do it, right? But at the same time, take the opportunity to look back and see how you're doing and if you're improving and where that growth is happening, to make sure that you're again staying consistent enough, or seeing where that consistency and that muscle's growing. But wanting to, sometimes you can't argue when things are black and white too, right? And so it takes the emotion out. Sometimes when we get caught up with life stuff, it's literally like, yeah, but, and then we can pull on on people's heartstrings with the reasoning why. You guys, it doesn't, all of us have different things that we have going on in our life, and nothing is more important than the other. But at the same time, you guys, when it comes to your business, if you're not checking these things off, that should be that's your eye opener to know that you really aren't fully doing what you need to do to really build that business. And so I'm weird. I put some guilt on myself on things too. It's just like, man, if I'm not showing up, if I'm not doing the things I'm supposed to do, like who's not winning because I'm not winning, right? And so it's just like, I think of my kids. Like if I'm not playing full, I'm not doing what I said I'm going to do. Like I think of like what that's going to do to prevent my family from doing the things that I said I was going to do, right? So like me leaving my teaching job, I knew I needed to do this. Was a different checklist, but it's just like, if I do this checklist and I do what I need to do, this is going to get me out of my job. That was my mindset. And so I did that because I wanted that for my family. But again, taking a look at and asking yourself, by you not completing this at the end of the day, I mean, I sleep so much better when I know I do the things I said I was going to do, you guys. So if you're struggling with sleep, that might be a thing too. But again, use the tracker to just take a look and see where you're at. So I'm just going to wrap up with some action steps, because I have to give, I'm not calling it homework because no one wants homework, but I'm going to give you some action steps, you guys. So again, I had to pull out this picture too. I feel like, and again, the progress pictures, we have to do an update, but you guys, are you ready to flex with us? Okay. Like I said, if Jorge is telling you to get your people doing the Flex 45, and Eric Worre is telling you to get your people to do Flex 45, and we're already seeing in the first couple of weeks of even coaches who have been very quiet and very mute that are sharing, and then they're sharing in the chats more. You guys, I know that them doing those things are building their confidence, because now they know that they have things to contribute. And just that, you guys, has been super powerful so far. But block off your business time in your calendar. Okay, so the call ends, you guys pull out your calendar and just be like, again, just even 1 hour, you guys, the things you can achieve in 1 hour instead of beating yourself up by actually doing the things you want to do. And then, sharing your updates. I would say the fact that like finding an accountability partner. Okay. Find someone. I would suggest someone that's sideline that doesn't, you can't even get mad at. Okay. When you have your upline do this and you're like, you just want me to work. No, you guys, find an accountability partner. Okay. And to be able to go ahead and just, make sure that you're holding each other accountable on that. And then also sign up for the May Challenge. If you have, I'm assuming most of you guys already signed up for the May Challenge. You guys sign up for that May Challenge and start using that as your conversational piece. Okay. You do your post, you do your story. And then what I do is I take a look and see who's responding, likes and all the things. And that's who I'm having the conversations with first, one-on-one. And then I go from there. Okay. But taking a look at that and then posting your challenger roster. How many challengers do you want in the month of May? Right. It's going to be here before we know it. Right. And so by you being intentional now, just imagine what you can do. And for me personally, I just take a look at what did I do last month? And my goal was always to do better than that this month, whether challengers, coaches, all of the things, because I'm playing that game. And so I make it that game because it keeps it fun. And that just keeps me more consistent. Good. Anything you want to go ahead and add before we open up to some Q&A?
Just one last thing is, like you said before, when you were talking to the nurse, I know we had that conversation before, but um, if your friends and coworkers don't even know what you do, can you really say you even doing business, right? I have a, just a quick little story. I have a friend. He's an entrepreneur. He does financial literacy stuff. Um, he told we were having a conversation, and one of my closest friends was there, and he was like, yeah, you do challenges every day, right? Or every month. I was like, yeah, I do the challenges. And then my friend was like, what, you do challenges? And then my friend, the entrepreneur friend, he said, he looked at me kind of crazy. He was like, how are you doing business and he don't even know what you do and you see him every day? Me, I thought everybody knew what I did, right? But if we're not having those intentional conversations, then don't expect everybody to know what you're doing, right? We have to have those conversations.
Mhm. Yep. Because if you don't, Octavio over there is going to sign him up because he's having a conversation. So again, even if that makes you do the things you need to do, go
Yeah,
ahead and do that.
I'm about to
Well,
tell
Right?
you. Yeah.
let me piggyback here with you guys.
Yep.
I wanted um, but by the way, brother, thank you for doing this amazing call. And I wanted to ask you a couple questions because I know a lot of people probably going to want to ask you questions before they get to ask you a question. I know one of the biggest questions is going to be what you just said about ChatGPT. I do it. I
Mhm.
know how to set it up. I know how to do all these things. But for me, I never thought to actually even say it because for me, I guess it's common sense at this point because ChatGPT is everywhere. So I didn't realize that most people don't really know how to do it.
Mhm.
So I wanted to ask you because I know they're gonna be a lot of questions. Of course, we can teach them how to set it up because it takes a little bit for ChatGPT to recognize you, and you can put prompts and you can tell them information about you. So I spent an entire day writing an entire essay about me because I want ChatGPT to recognize me. And I told him, save this and save it on my profile and stuff. So now ChatGPT knows, and we can teach people how to do that. Now, probably the biggest question, I think for me, what makes more sense, once you start getting these people, let's say the people for the gym, once
Mhm.
you start having these conversations, these people, once you have a conversation, and let's say this person say, okay, I like the idea. So what do you do after that? Do you set up like a call? Is it like are you trying to find local people? Are you finding people no matter where they are? Because it's great. We can get these leads and we can do all these things. But for me, what really matters is what happened in the aftermath.
Mhm.
Even if they sign up or not, but what's the process? What's your process? Because I want to know. Because I'm interested. I'm opening a fit club right now, and I'm going to be hitting a lot of people with James. So I want to see. I have an idea of what I want to do, but I'm always open to listening to people that are already trying it, already doing it. So if you can give us a couple, I don't know, I guess samples or whatever you want to say. I want people to know what to do once they have those people. Because the chat GPT is the easy part. Now,
That's
once you have it, what do you do?
Yeah, once I have somebody as far as like has their own business and that's actually doing, well for themselves in their business, how do I provide value or how do I teach them about the We Do transformations? For instance, I just had my distributor or sorry, my coach just text me right now and telling me she just got done with the this is the step coach.
Okay.
That just got done. I just got done setting up her the pay stuff on there on the website.
Okay.
Now my next step with her is I'm gonna break it all the way down. I'm gonna have I have three packages. We use three packages to get into the challenge, and I'm gonna tell her how many of each package she need, or I'm gonna tell her basically how many customers per package does she need to actually hit the volume that we looking to hit. So our package one, simple, the simple way to get in, the canisters, the two canisters, the PDM and the Formula One. I'm gonna let her know how many you need to sell, how many you need to sell this package to get to the volume that we need, because we want to get that best discount. And then I'm gonna do that for every package. And then that's going to be our goal, right? And that's the only thing I need her to worry about. I don't want her to worry because there's so much stuff. So that's all I want you to worry about. And of course, I'm gonna give her the tools that we have on the We Do app. But that's how I break it down next. And for somebody in a gym, I'll do it the same way, but my next step is like, how can we get this product in your gym? Right?
Okay.
How can we do this in the gym? How can we get our have trainings, have big workouts in your gym and actually introducing people to the product, so that's going to be the next step as well.
Yeah.
But like I said, you have to be doing the business, because if you're not doing the business, you definitely not gonna know what to say. You be like, oh well, I haven't doing it myself, so it's gonna be harder if you haven't been doing the business.
Yeah, no,
And you
I
actually are
agree.
putting I was gonna say, you're also adding in a nutrition bar in the gym that you're operating out of as well, which is
Yep.
again just gonna give that vision of people who have gyms too, or leading a class, and how they can go ahead and supplement that
Yeah.
before and after their workouts.
And you just said something really key that I think most people miss that opportunity. Most people, I don't know why, and I guess it's just nature, that when we get someone, we want to go over everything. We even teach these people how to, like, the marketing plan, how to get to chairmen. Guys, the guy is not even sign up. The guy is not even a supervisor. You don't have to, like, I'm a firm believer to give him little by little. If you give too much information, if you give too much to people, you can lose them. Because believe it or not, even for me, I'm a press team. Sometimes I forget because I have a hard time explaining the beginning of the marketing plan, because you have to get 200 volume points in 2 months and this. And the first part is actually, it's more complicated. I can teach you how to get to press team, this and that. That's simple. That's really easy. Royalties. When you're talking about the first beginning part, that getting to supervisor, that's pretty hard, because it's different how to qualify, how to get to 35, how to get to 42, and then you get 42 temporary, and then 42 forever, and then 50. So we need to understand, when you get someone, if we try to keep it as simple as possible, at least at the beginning, we won't lose these people. These people will stay, will do their job. All they have to know, for me, I need you to get to supervisors. How are you going to get to supervisors? You have to do 2,000 volume points. How do you do 2,000 volume points? It's about $2,000, give and take. That's the easiest way to explain it. Give and take. That's easy. How many clients do you need for that? Well, depending on whatever you sell them, I will say anything between 15 to 22 clients. Is that easy? Is that possible? How many clients do you have right now? Well, I train, I don't know, 10 clients. Sometimes I have more. So it's easy. So you can make this much money, and you can get a 50% with this amount of people. So I try to keep it simple, and I like that. And I like what you said, don't give them too much, just enough to get them started. Once they start leveling up, we can go over many things. So, bro, I appreciate it. This is key, because a lot of people don't miss out on a lot of opportunity. There's people at gyms, owners, personal trainers, they hate their life, especially owners. They barely can pay their bills, and they have to be there left and right, especially small gyms. You don't want to go after like big gyms, because it doesn't make any sense. But you have no idea how many gyms I've been here in my area, little gyms, mom and pops, because I want to meet the owners. All I care is the owner, because if I get the owners, all those trainers are going to come to me. Well, they're going to come to him, but they're going to come to me. So instead of me going after trainers, I go to the owner and teach it. Bro, I can teach you how to make money without you changing anything. Easy. So a lot of people miss that opportunity. And what we do opens the door to that opportunity. So I appreciate it, brother. I mean, you're doing great. I can see you definitely levering up. I can see you walking stage on Extravaganza. And I love tonight, Cole. I love about consistency, because for me, I realize in this business that the difference between a winner and a loser is consistency. There's really no special sauce. There's really no special anything. I've seen people, they don't look like trainers. They make it to press teams. I see people that different shape, different colors. And at the end of the day, what makes the difference is the consistency. They stick to it. They actually did it. They didn't give up. Especially like, look at now, something so little as connecting to a call. And we see, I mean, sometimes we got 200, sometimes we got 300. If we say we have something special, we might get 400. But people waiting for that special things. And it's funny, because even if we announce something new, something special, and you see what it is, if you're not going to be consistent with it, it doesn't make a difference. I don't know how many times to say it. I can give you the roadmap. I can give you step by step how to get to press teams, and you're still not going to get to press team because you're not consistent enough to stick to it. So I love tonight's topic, because I think I truly think that that's the difference between winners and losers: consistency. Hey, I understand every Tuesday we have to connect to a call. I connect to calls every day, so it doesn't matter for me. It's just part of me. This is my life. This is what I decided to do. This is what I picked. This is what changed my life. This is what changed my family life. So if it comes down to me connecting to a call or having a job 9 to 5, hell no, call all day long. I don't want to work. I haven't worked in nine years. You think I want to go back to a job? No. Give me all the calls you want. I'm sitting in my office, chilling, stress-free. I don't mind. And I learned from like what you said today. A lot of people are probably going to try now. Once the call is over, they're going to try. They're going to go to ChatGPT. They're going to figure out how to have conversation. I guarantee you.
Mhm.
So just by connecting to, so the people that didn't connect to tonight's call, they lost a big nugget.
Mhm.
They'll probably find out later on, but by that point, hey, you missed out a lot of business. So I just wanted to say, man, what an amazing story. What an amazing call. I was supposed to announce something tonight. I mean, I guess I'll announce it because it has to do with consistency anyway. It's going to help the consistency. And because you guys were the one that connected, you guys were the one that stay until the end, you deserve a prize. And the prize is we're gonna be releasing something new. I know I've been talking about this for a while now, and I'm talking about the new way to track what you're doing, the new way to track your work, the new way to track what your people are doing. So now it comes down to consistency. Now you can see if your people are lying to you or telling you, I'm doing the job. No, you're not doing the job. I can see it. You know, you don't have to tell me. I can see you're not connecting. You're not having the calls. You're not connecting. You're not having the conversations. You're not sending the messages. You're not following up with your clients. Yeah, I can see everything. So on Monday, it's official. We're going to release the new update to the app where you'll be able to track how many wellness profile you have sent. For me, this is a game changer. You're going to be able to see how many conversations you had. You'll be able to see your downline. So make sure your downline adds you as an upline. They have to physically do it in the app because we can't connect it to BizWorks. We have no access to that. But for me, this is going to be and I know it might sound like I say it a lot, but for me, this is a big deal because now I can track my people work. Now I can see if they're actually working, and I can actually coach them on something. Because I don't know about you guys, but I have downlines that don't do volume points. And the only thing that you can do when you go talk to them, hey, you haven't done volume points. Why is this? Why haven't you done volume points? They can say many things, but you don't see the reality because you're basing this only on the outcome of the work. But I don't want to base it on the outcome. I want to base it on the actual work. So I want to track the work. I don't want to care. I could care less about the volume point. If the person is working, for me, that person is more valuable than a person that has 10,000 volume points because that person is at least trying, is sticking to it. For me, look, when I started my business in my org, we have heavy hitters. We have people doing 100,000 volume points, 80,000 volume points, 150,000 volume points. So I was me here, sometimes making 7,000, sometimes 10. I got to a point where I was making consistently $15,000, and that sounds like a lot. But in my org, that wasn't a lot. So somebody could have looked at me and said, you know what, you're not producing good because you're not producing the same thing that they're producing. But guess what? I got to Preston. A lot of those people that produce 20, 80, 70, 100,000 volume points, they're not even here anymore. They didn't even get to press teams. So for me, volume points, yes, volume points is a good metric and it's good to know, but it doesn't mean everything. So me seeing what they're doing, I can actually coach them because if I see that they're sending messages, but they're not getting enough clients, then okay, then that's a problem with the message you send. I can fix this. I can help you fix it. So for me, that makes more sense than say, well, you don't have any volume points. What do you do? Well, I send messages. Well, how many messages you send? I don't know, like a few messages. Well, I want to see how many messages you send because if you tell me you only send five messages, of course you're not going to have results. Of course you're not going to get anywhere. I need to see more. But now I can coach people on work, not on the actual volume point. And for me, that's just after. Volume point will come if you do the work. There's no way around it. You do the work, volume points will be there. Now, is it going to be a lot of volume points? You're going to have some stars that do a lot of volume points, and you're going to have regular people that do regular volume points. But that doesn't mean it's not a good distributor. Doesn't mean that person is not going to grow. So I'm glad we're releasing this. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited, and you guys use this too, please. Consistency. This is. I mean, technically, it's free to you guys. It's in the app. Use it. Like everything that we have added, use it. It's in the app. Be in the chats. We release a lot of stuff in the chat. But just use it. And don't use it for a month and say, well, it didn't work for me. This is like, no, keep using it. You know, the more you use one thing, the better you're going to get. When I started, I wasn't good at social media. I sucked at social media. I still not the best, but I know how to work social media because I stick to it. And I did it and over and over and over and over until I got it. So I don't know if you guys want to say anything else, Tracy.
Yeah. I just want to say, you guys, this is fire because first off, when you're talking about use the app, it's literally like use the app as though you're going to lose the app. Like, would your actions be different if we said we were not going to have the app anymore? Like, use the app, right? But so this is what gets me jacked up because I wrote this down. I didn't share this tonight, but now I'm going to give it to you. You guys, with that, you should be able to monitor the behavior that people are doing with their actions. You guys, this is all we do. If you want to grow royalties, if you want to walk the stage, Armad, extravaganza for tab team, Prez team, this is what we need to do. Okay. You have the conversations to get the challengers, to get the coaches, and then we teach the coaches how to do the same thing. That's all we do. It doesn't matter if you're 30K Prez team like Octavio, or if you're world team active, if your brand's spanking new. And this is what it is. It's the consistency of having enough conversations. You're getting enough challengers to have conversations about coaching, to have enough, to have those coaches do the same thing. So when you ask the question, like, how do you teach someone that's doing step? If she's seeing what you've got going on and you're pitching the business and you're getting challengers, you just got to teach her how to do what you just did. No one else is different that way, right? Like, that's all it is. And use the app to do that. Now you can track how many conversations they're having. Do the wellness profile with your clients that you have at your step class. And I'll tell you one thing, you guys. I was talking to Shaq. Shaq was on the call 2 times ago, right? She was a supporting story with Rachel, if you remember. She's got a step coach that just signed up too. They're launching at their location. So I don't know what's up with step right now, but I would be reaching out to your step people in your area and find out and be like, hey, we've got this person, that this is what they've got going on. I would use those stories. Okay. You don't have to have someone that's a personal trainer or doing a step class, but you can reach out and be like, hey, this is what my friends got going on and their or whatever you call them. Right. So you use the stories. I mean, that's what I would do. I don't even know if I have step people around by us, but I got to find out what that is. Maybe we got to start that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do it, guys. And look, just the last thing. Why do you think our the top 10, whatever the scoreboard that we have in the app, you know, how you have who's on number 1, who's number 2. Why do you guys think that we did that based on things to do? Like, you know, like having challengers, buying into the challenge, adding challengers, adding coaches. Why do you think that we create that based on those points, based on things to do? Because we want to compensate a person for doing the work. We could have just said, you know what, I'll blow your volume points at the end of the month, and whoever has the most volume point can have this, it will be on the top. That could have been easier for us. It could have saved us a lot of headache. But no, because we don't want to compensate just volume points. We want to compensate people for doing the work. And by us compensating, giving you points for uploading pictures, for giving you points for following up with your coaches, giving you points for having coaches. What do you think we incentivizing there? Making you do work without you realizing we're making you do the work that you need to do to get to the next level. That was the whole point of this. This is why we created that. Now we're taking it a step further with the tracking. Now we can track all these things, but this is for you guys. I'm not going to track your work. You're not my downline. This is for you to track your work and your people work. So I hope you really take advantage of this, because this could really change your business. I know we used to using BizWorks. I'm not saying don't stop using BizWorks, but this is going to give you a more clear vision into your business. BizWorks doesn't give you the full picture. It gives you a part of the picture. This will give you the full picture. For me, this makes more sense than BizWorks, to be honest. But hey, of course, we're going to use BizWorks. But guys, thank you so much. I don't want to keep dragging it because the translators is going to kill me every night. We just keep standing it. Thank you, brother. I hope to see you. I hope to meet you in Extravaganza. And actually hope I see you. Maybe you come for the games. Maybe you come on June for the games.
We've been talking about it. Look, we talking about it. I got 4 or 5 distributors ready to come.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
let's do this.
I'm
you just committed in front of a group of people. We'll end the call right now.
Woo! Let's do this.
Competitive. I'm going to compete. I'll be seeing. I watch all you guys, and yeah.
All right. Okay, thank you guys. Well, guys, good night. If you guys have more questions, that's why we have the chats. We're not going to answer any more questions here. Chats now. From now on, all the questions, I want to see it in the chats. So good night, guys. Peace.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.